Have you ever told a lie and gotten away with it? Maybe even twice. It feels harmless at first, right? But what happens when nobody believes you anymore, even when you're telling the truth? Today's story is about a boy who learned one of life's most painful lessons the hard way. A lesson about trust, honesty, and how easily you can lose something precious that took years to build. This is the story of the boy who cried wolf. Once upon a time, in a peaceful village nestled between rolling green hills, there lived a young shepherd boy. Every day, he had one simple job: to watch over the village sheep and keep them safe from wolves. The village trusted him with their most valuable possession, their flock of sheep. These sheep were everything to the villagers. They provided wool, milk, and meat. Losing them would mean disaster for the entire village. But the boy was bored. Terribly, terribly bored. Day after day, he sat alone on the hillside watching sheep eat grass. No friends to talk to, no games to play, just him, the sheep, and endless silence. This is so boring, nothing ever happens here. Just sheep eating grass. All day long, the boy sighed, throwing pebbles down the hill. And that's when a terrible idea crept into his mind. An idea that would change everything. One sunny afternoon, as the boy sat watching the sheep graze peacefully, he thought to himself, "What if I made things a little more exciting?" He stood up, took a deep breath, and screamed at the top of his lungs. "Wolf, wolf, a wolf is attacking the sheep, help, help!" His voice echoed through the valley and reached the village below. Immediately, the villagers dropped everything they were doing. The farmers left their fields. The blacksmith abandoned his forge. The baker ran out covered in flour. Everyone grabbed whatever they could: sticks, pitchforks, shovels, and rushed up the hill as fast as their legs could carry them. They were gasping for breath, their hearts pounding with fear and worry. "Where's the wolf? Where is it? Are you okay? Are the sheep safe?" They shouted, frantically looking around. But when they reached the top of the hill, breathing heavily and ready to fight, there was no wolf. The sheep were grazing peacefully. Everything was perfectly calm. And the boy, he was laughing so hard he could barely stand. "H-A-H-A-H-A, you should have seen your faces. There's no wolf. I was just joking. H-A-H-A-H-A," the boy laughed, holding his stomach. The villagers looked at each other in disbelief and anger. They had dropped everything. They had run all the way up the hill. They were exhausted. And it was all a joke. "This isn't funny, boy. We were worried sick," shouted the farmer. "Don't ever do that again. Do you understand how serious this is?" warned the blacksmith. But the boy just kept giggling as the frustrated villagers trudged back down the hill, shaking their heads. The boy thought it was hilarious. The most fun he'd had in weeks. A few days passed and the boy grew bored again. The excitement of his prank had worn off, and he was back to watching sheep eat grass. "That was so much fun last time. I wonder if they'd fall for it again," he thought, a mischievous smile spreading across his face. He stood up once more and screamed even louder than before. "Wolf, wolf, it's back. The wolf is here. Please help. The sheep are in danger once again." His desperate cries reached the village. And once again, the kind-hearted villagers dropped everything and came running. They ran even faster this time, their faces filled with panic and concern. "Not again, hurry, we have to save the boy and the sheep." They climbed the steep hill, gasping for air, their legs burning with exhaustion. But when they reached the top, the same thing. No wolf, just peaceful sheep, and the boy laughing even harder than before. "H-A-H-A-H-A, I can't believe you fell for it again. There's no wolf. It was another joke." H-A-H-A-H-A this time. The villagers weren't just annoyed. They were angry, really angry. "You foolish boy, do you think this is a game?" shouted an elderly woman. "We trusted you. We came to help you," yelled the blacksmith, his face red with frustration. "Don't you dare call us again unless there's a real wolf," warned the farmer, pointing his finger sternly at the boy. The villagers marched back down the hill, much angrier than before. Some were so frustrated they didn't even look back. But the boy, he didn't care. He was still laughing. That was even better than the first time, he thought to himself. A few more days passed. The boy sat on the hillside as usual, throwing stones and watching clouds drift by. Suddenly he heard something, a rustling in the bushes behind him. He turned around and froze. Two glowing yellow eyes stared back at him from the shadows. Then another pair, and another. Wolves, real wolves, a whole pack of them. The boy's heart stopped. His blood ran cold. This wasn't a joke anymore. This was real. The wolves stepped out of the bushes, their teeth bared, their eyes locked on the sheep. The sheep began bleating in terror, running in circles, sensing the danger. The boy's hands trembled. His voice shook, but he screamed as loud as he possibly could. "Wolf, wolf, please, this time it's real. The wolves are here. They're attacking the sheep. Please believe me. Help. Somebody help me." His desperate cries echoed through the valley just like before. But this time nobody came. Down in the village, people heard his screams. The farmer heard him. The blacksmith heard him. Everyone heard him, but they didn't move. "It's that boy again," said the farmer, shaking his head. "He's trying to fool us for the third time." "I'm not falling for it again," said the blacksmith, going back to his work. "Let him learn his lesson," said the baker, kneading dough and ignoring the distant screams. Nobody believed him. Nobody came to help. Back on the hill, the boy screamed until his voice was hoarse. "Please, I'm not lying this time. Please believe me." But his cries fell on deaf ears. The wolves attacked. The sheep scattered in all directions, bleating in terror. The boy tried to fight them off with his stick, but he was just one small boy against a pack of hungry wolves. By the time the chaos was over, many of the sheep were gone. Some had run away. Some had been taken by the wolves. The flock was destroyed. The boy collapsed to his knees, tears streaming down his face. Not just because of the sheep, but because he finally understood what he had done. He had broken their trust. And now, when he needed help the most, nobody believed him. When the villagers finally came up the hill later that evening, they saw the destruction. Scattered wool, broken fences, and a boy sitting alone, crying, surrounded by the few sheep that remained. The elderly shepherd who owned the flock looked at the boy with deep sadness in his eyes. Not anger, sadness. "I warned you, boy, trust is like a precious vase. Once it's broken, it can never be the same again. You can try to glue the pieces back together, but the cracks will always remain." The boy could barely speak through his tears. "I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean for this to happen." "Sorry doesn't bring back what's lost," said the farmer quietly. "Sorry doesn't rebuild trust." The boy had learned his lesson, but it was too late. So what can we learn from this painful story? First, honesty is your most valuable asset. Your reputation, your trustworthiness, these things take years to build but only seconds to destroy. The boy threw away the village's trust for a few moments of entertainment, and when he needed that trust most, it was gone. Second, every lie has consequences. You might get away with lying once, maybe even twice, but eventually the truth catches up with you. And when it does, the consequences are far worse than you ever imagined. The boy thought his lies were harmless jokes, but they cost him everything. Third, people remember how you make them feel. The villagers remembered how foolish and betrayed they felt when the boy lied to them. Those feelings stayed with them, and when he really needed help, those memories stopped them from believing him. Your actions today shape how people will treat you tomorrow. Fourth, once trust is broken, it's almost impossible to rebuild. The boy said he was sorry. He truly meant it, but sorry wasn't enough. Trust once shattered takes years to rebuild, if it can be rebuilt at all. Guard your integrity like your life depends on it, because in many ways it does. Fifth, think before you act. The boy never thought about the long-term consequences of his actions. He only thought about his immediate boredom and entertainment. Always ask yourself, what will happen if I do this? How will it affect others? How will it affect my future? Think 3 steps ahead. Remember, a liar will not be believed even when telling the truth. Your words have power. Use them wisely. Speak the truth even when it's difficult. Because once people stop believing you, you lose something far more valuable than sheep. You lose your voice. If this story made you think, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss our weekly moral stories. And tell me in the comments, Have you ever been in a situation where someone didn't believe you because of past mistakes? Or have you ever lost someone's trust? How did you handle it? Thanks for watching. Now go out there and be someone people can trust. Be someone whose word means something. Because at the end of the day, your integrity is all you really have.